Hello everyone, my name is Monica and today is Wednesday, January the 10th, 2024, and I have completed as of last night my temperature quilt representing all the days of the year, high, low, and low temperatures for New Orleans, Louisiana for the calendar year 2023. So I have it hanging here on my long arm light. And I just want to point out some things before I'm going to have to add some borders to it because it's not quite big enough to be king size. But I did want to get a little quick video. The days or months are configured in a diagonal pattern. So the first upper left corner is a blank because there's 18 blocks across, 21 blocks down, which calculates to 378 blocks, and this is not a leap year, so we have 365 days, leaving a surplus of 13 blocks. So I chose this gray on black Tula pink. I think this is actually wide back, but I'm not sure, maybe not. It's from the line Works by Tula Pink, and I cut 13 blocks as such. I started with a blank in the upper corner as block 1. So you sew the blocks going left to right, but I wanted the organization of it to be January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th, January 5th, and so forth and so on. And that gives you just a more organic layout, and I wanted the swath of hotter months of red to be, and I had no idea how this was going to turn out, but I'm super happy with it. You can see the very distinct red, darker, hotter months pattern. So the 5-inch blocks are representing the high temperature of that day, and then this began as a 2.5-inch block, which I turned under all 4 edges 1/4 of an inch, and then appliqued onto. And I did them random. Some are in the center, some are high center, some are far right, some are far left. I just wanted it to be wonky and not perfect. So my plan, so I started with a blank, and then down here in the diagonal corner, I ended with a blank, which I'm going to do as my quilt label. I'll put my name and the year and the name of the quilt here. But the next blank is here. So this will represent February 1st. So I did them as month markers. So I'm going to, I'm a long arm quilter, and I'm pretty good at doing writing, like writing my name, writing the year. With the long arm, I lower my stitch length and I go really slow. And so what I'll do when I get it on there is write January diagonally here, 2023. And then when I come to the next blank, it'll be February and so forth. And they're, as the diagonals get longer, the space between the blanks shifts accordingly. But I did want to get a little video, give a little explanation while it's in this phase. This is called just an unquilted quilt top, or some quilters call it the flimsy, meaning that it's just flimsy. It's not in the quilt phase yet, where you put the quilt batting and then the backing, and then you quilt it and bind it, then it's a finished quilt. But in this phase, like if you were to search on eBay for an unfinished quilt top, like a vintage one, you would just search quilt top or unfinished quilt top. But you go to quilting groups, they call them flimsies. But you can see how beautiful this turned out. I absolutely love it. It's mostly batiks. I would say 96 to 98% batiks. When I pulled the fabrics, this is not a batik. This is just a micro dot, but the color, I wanted more variations in the color for that temperature, for that range. So I pulled fabrics from my stash that were close to this goldish tannish color. And then I also have a print here that is not a batik, and then a couple of the little 2.5-inch ones, like this is a Tula Pink, that's a Tula Pink, which is just regular quilting cotton. So there's just a little bit of sprinkle I'm liking this. This is a Batik fleur-de-lis, and I have them, of course, in the smalls and in the larger ones. And it's a mixture of purples and teals. Very New Orleans. So this will be called my 2023 New Orleans, Louisiana temperature quilt. And you know, as you know, 2023 was a record heat month for most of the country, probably most of the world. So that you can see, especially if I were able, I'm up against a bed here, I can't go back any further, but you can see how the red and oranges and the darker, hotter colors are very distinct. And then as you get down toward the right lower corner, this is probably like November. Yeah, November would start here on this blank here. So that would be November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and then this is December. So those 2 months were cooler, hence the yellows, greens, and blues. But that's it. I just measured it. It finished out at 84 inches by 97.5, which I'm gonna need to put at least 2 or 3 borders on it. The 84 is not nearly wide enough for a king size bed. I do want it to come down about 8 to 10 inches on each side, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I'll probably just use batiks to keep in line with that theme and that look, and get to work on that so that I can quilt it and then bind it and put it on the bed. Thanks for watching.